Hello and welcome. It is the 28th day of May 2017. My name is Derek and welcome. There will be no charts in this video. Just want to go over a few things on Bitcoin that I have found on the internet. On the 11th of May, Bitcoin reached a new all-time high, surpassing 1,800. We can see this on fortune.com, cryptocoinnews.com. Even CNBC has talked about this too. Oh, we're going to get to CNBC from years ago at the end of this video. And even on the 1st of May, this is just 4 weeks ago, Bitcoin burst out to an all-time high above 1,400. Well, spoiler, it got above 28 or around 28. That's about 100% gain from the start of the month to its highest level. A more recent search, 22 hours ago on Zero Hedge, Bitcoin crashes to 1 week lows. 1 week lows, crashes, put the two together. 2 days ago from Zero Hedge again, Bitcoin is crashing again. Alex Millard has a great YouTube video that I'm going to actually try to improve in the next few days on Bitcoin always crashing over and over again. But let's get real here. I moved from, 28 to 18? That's like, 30-something%? That's far from a crash in the crypto business. A Bitcoin exchange, Coinbase, crashes after buying frenzy a couple of days ago. An Asian buying frenzy. You know what? It's not just Asia right now. I also have, however, read that central banks are warning against Bitcoin. May 18th, 2017. At the start of this year, Nigeria's central bank was warning against Bitcoin. On the 13th of May, the German central bank warns not to use Bitcoin as it is not backed by, and what it's not backed by is your government central banks. It's not backed by a central bank, which, well, I mean, you can read this comment in here to explain what the situation is like, but and then the central bank warns of Bitcoin risks, Wall Street Journal. But this was an interesting date because it was December the 5th, 2013, which was an interesting time frame when Bitcoin was rising over $1,000 at the time, getting ready for what would be an extreme correction of over 80% down. Within Ponzi schemes, I can see M3 Money Supply, the great Ponzi scheme, the fiat funny money supply or story. I don't know. I don't know what's after these dots, but you get the idea. And this is from onesimpleidea.com. The Federal Reserve is a Ponzi scheme. No, really? Wow. Wakeupworld.com. Andy Hoffman, the dollar Ponzi scheme will collapse. And finally, Bitcoins, the second biggest Ponzi scheme in history. I guess the currency system just takes the cake, but I really wanted to read this article because, again, this comes at the time frame of December of 2013. This is when Bitcoin had a huge rise up to the 1,200 situation, which was an artificial high at the time given the Mt. Gox situation and just a problem going on as they were adding artificial Bitcoins not in circulation that drove the price way high and way too low, which has been fixed. Now, as far as the Silver Doctors, that webpage, this is what it reads, and I'm going to be going over each little part here. I hereby make a prediction: Bitcoins will go down in history as the most spectacular private Ponzi scheme in history. And you know what? It very easily still can. However, it isn't doing it anytime soon at this point, if it even does such. Continuing further, the fundamental characteristic of money is its relatively stable purchasing power. Bitcoin will never achieve this. It is a mania going up. It will be a mania coming down. It will not increase the division of labor because people will recognize it as having been a Ponzi scheme, and they will not buy it. Again, they will not use it in exchanges. So stop right there. Now, as far as what we need, like a fundamental characteristic of money being stable, purchasing power, it doesn't have that. No, it's far from stable when it's had, well, I showed at the start of this video how fast these all-time highs can rise. And when you crash back down to 1800, which, well, a few days ago was an all-time high, so be it. But the bottom line is every single thing you have as money that you can think of has one major flaw in it. Whether it be gold and silver, with people not familiar with gold and silver as money, its store of value. And that's one crucial part of money as well. And then as far as people not recognizing it and being able to buy it, well, even at that time, you could get a credit card on Bitcoin and use it like pretty much anywhere. I myself have been able to buy some ounces of silver that's in my safe, in my possession right now over this last month in Bitcoin. So obviously it is being used. But the stable purchasing power to serve as money, and that they say it will never ever achieve stable purchasing power. And maybe it never will. And maybe it will, because within the free market that it has, what that means to me is that once you get past these early, what has to be extreme volatile stages with the fiat currency system in dire straits at this time, thus putting extra pressure on the fiat currency in its dire strait situation, then that's going to have these wild, obscure kind of moves. But once many months and years go by, that type of stabilization can be achieved once we get past all of these the economic bubble situation within the current large Ponzi scheme. There has to be an economic justification for a capital investment, and there is no economic justification of buying Bitcoins as an alternate currency. The Asian theory of money shows why. I do not invest in capital that has no economic justification other than the greater fool theory. There are too few fools to keep the scheme going. And I can just play around with this, change some words a little bit. Yeah, I don't invest in that as well, other than the greater fool theory. And so many people have been fooled that our fiat currency is that of money, so you have no choice to, because everyone's been fooled. And there are many fools keeping this scheme going. And there's nothing against being quote unquote a fool. We've all been grown up in this system. It's something one has to eliminate after learning as a kid throughout the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, whenever it is you were a child, what money was. But there are less and less fools, and no new fools coming in. So will Bitcoin become the second biggest Ponzi scheme in history? Maybe, but at this stage, if it is, it can still become very profitable if one's able to understand if there's ever a reason Bitcoin's in serious jeopardy, that one can be able to still get out for a profit. And finally, this is an old article, or an old video rather, dated January the 14th, 2015. And this is just a little over a year since the great top of around 1250, and this is when it's near its great bottom. And the headline is Bitcoin keeps falling and worries keep rising. And you can see the date, Wednesday, January the 14th. And it's from CNBC. It looks like it's not the CNBC America, but the CNBC International. And this video, I was very surprised to see how well put this host on the left-hand side did within it. I'm going to put a link to this because I think it was a very good watch. So to think who is doing well between these three as far as financial gains over the last few years, I think the answer would be very clear. It was a video that explains the blockchain technology and the basic things, the fundamental parts of the blockchain cryptocurrency technology. So thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.